Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And what a gorgeous day it was out there today. Felt more summer-like, didn't it, than fall. We did see temperatures in the upper 70s throughout most of north central Washington. There's a shot of the beautiful Columbia River, East Wenatchee and Wenatchee, and we did see just light winds and lots of blue sky today. Let's take a look at the rest of our week, and it looks great as we make our way through this week. We will see temperatures in the upper 70s, topping out probably in the lower 80s. That will be on Thursday, and then a cold front will move through beginning on Friday and into the weekend, which will bring us some breezy conditions, maybe even some wet stuff. But for the meantime, enjoy the next couple of days. Your complete weather forecast is coming up a little bit later on. And now of the few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A head-on car accident turns fatal on State Route 243. Evacuation levels are lowered for 2 area fires, and the Chelan County Port announces a new business expanding into the Wenatchee Valley. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our features story today. But first, the remnants of the Dalco fire were still smoldering this morning following last night's major fire at the packaging plant in Wenatchee. Multiple crews responded Monday night to the 2-alarm blaze that caused extensive damage to the structure and its contents.
So we were dispatched to a commercial fire on South Columbia Street at Dalco. About the time we were getting dispatched, a engine from Douglas County 2 was just clearing from another call on their side of the river, had noticed the smoke and also started responding. We arrived to a large fire burning in a storage yard here at Dalco that was basically comprised of palletized product, foam product that they manufacture here. We were able to start putting water on it within a few minutes. The sprinkler system on the exterior of the building on the south side of the fire helped prevent the fire from extending into that building. And we're basically able to just get the fire knocked down from the exterior. No exposure into any of the buildings, either on the south side or the north side. Investigators on the way. We have no idea yet as far as what could be a possible cause of it, but they'll be investigating at some point tonight.
The fire caused minor damage to the exterior of the warehouse after crews knocked down the flames within an hour of arrival. There were no injuries in the fire, and as of this report, the cause was not determined. A Mattawa man was killed last night in a 2-vehicle head-on accident near Desert Air. Washington State Patrol reports that a 1999 Toyota Camry driven by 31-year-old Miguel Maximino of Mattawa was northbound on State Route 243 around 9:30 Monday night, fleeing the scene of a separate hit-and-run accident when it crossed the center line and struck a 1997 International truck and trailer driven by 48-year-old Augustine Santana of Sunnyside head-on. The collision caused the Camry to roll and set the semi-truck on fire, which eventually fully engulfed the big rig. It's unknown at this time if drugs or alcohol were involved, and the accident is still under investigation. Good news to report tonight on the Uno Peak fire 15 miles northwest of Manson and the Diamond Creek fire near Mazama. Fire officials with the Uno Peak fire have removed all level 1 evacuation notices for the Canoe Creek and Llama Ranch areas. The fire has scorched over 8,700 acres and is still burning slowly in timber and brush. Fire crews continue to work on Coyote and Nelson Butte ridges, but officials expect minimal fire behavior. The cool fall weather has also allowed fire officials with the Diamond Creek fire to remove the level 1 evacuation notice for residents in the Mazama, Lost River, and Rendezvous areas. A silver alert was issued today for a disabled man reported missing from his home in Electric City. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said 69-year-old Donald S. Fisher was last seen around 7 p.m. Monday at 1328 Williams Avenue in Electric City. He left without any medications, wallet, or keys. Fisher suffers from seizures and is almost nonverbal in communication due to strokes and recent brain surgery. He was last seen wearing a blue fleece coat, blue jeans, and was possibly en route to Everett on foot. If you have information regarding the missing man, contact Grand Coulee Police at 509-762-1160. Coming up, the Chelan County Port announces a new business expanding into the Wenatchee Valley, and Governor Jay Inslee says in a press briefing, Republicans failed on passing a capital budget. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
It was a day to celebrate new jobs coming to Wenatchee at a special meeting of the Chelan County Port District today with the announcement of a new business expanding to the area. Mount Vernon-based Laus Truss is expanding its manufacturing facilities to Cashmere, where the company is buying a 4-acre parcel of land from the port-owned Cashmere mill site property. Company President John Laus says they plan to start construction as soon as the property sale closes.
We're initially looking at putting between 20 and 30 jobs in. We have a few people from the Burlington area that are looking to move over into Chelan County to help us sort of transition that culture of our company over and make that a smooth transition. We've been developing a truss market in Central Washington for a number of years. And it's getting to the point where we are just out of capacity and out of trucks and all that kind of stuff to service this area. And we want to be serving this area, so this gives us the opportunity to put a plant in and really plant ourselves firmly in the region.
Today's announcement was one of 2 big developments in the port's ongoing efforts to recruit new business to the area. The other big story is the decision by a diamond manufacturing company to locate its operations to the Wenatchee Valley. San Francisco-based Diamond Foundry uses a state-of-the-art technology to grow diamonds under extreme heat and pressure. The company will be located in a 56,000 square foot building the company is leasing from Stamilt growers on property that was damaged in the Sleepy Hollow fire. Steve Hare talked to the commissioners about the new business growth.
I'm just excited that the port was able to pretty quietly but facilitate this company coming into the community. It's going to be creating some great jobs, great opportunities for some locals, and just kind of a different kind of business for the Wenatchee Valley.
Additional details of the 2 companies' plans will be shared at a port-hosted breakfast meeting Wednesday morning at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Port officials will also use tomorrow's event to announce a successful effort to add a non-stop flight from Pangbourne Airport to San Francisco. At a news conference in Olympia yesterday, Governor Jay Inslee fielded various questions regarding Dreamers, the president's DACA decision, and transgender people serving in the military. When the governor was asked about the controversial Supreme Court Hearst decision regarding personal water rights and how it relates to passing a capital budget, things got a little heated.
Since the lawmakers adjourned in July, can you go through and tell us what have you done to try to resolve the dispute on Hearst? Who have you met with, and what are your plans on that issue?
I thought you were going to ask me about what I've done to try to get a capital budget so that $4 billion of employment. I thought you were going to ask me about that. because frankly, that's what people really need right now. We got 15,000 jobs plus that people aren't going to work because we don't have a capital budget. And the legislators walked out, the Republicans walked out without doing their job. They had a job to do a capital budget, they didn't do it. They failed. They went AWOL. And I'm speaking in harsh terms because I think that's appropriate. Never in the history of Washington has one party tried to hold a capital budget hostage and threatened to shut down a basic government service. The capital budget is a basic government service. I was in Ephrata the other day where they were trying to fix a water line so they can have potable water for the people of Ephrata. That's pretty basic.
Earlier this year, the Washington State Legislature failed in 3 special sessions to pass a capital budget. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
Every golfer aims to play their best, and smart golfers turn to the Golfer's Edge to get the Golfer's Edge. PGA professional Ed Payne has you covered from tee to green. You can work on your swing or play 18 in air-conditioned comfort on the golf simulator. Tanya's Corner has all the apparel the golfer needs at sale prices. And Ed can even rebuild your favorite set of clubs or custom make you a brand new set. Ask how you can qualify for a free 30-minute lesson at the Golfer's Edge on Mission between Kittitas and Yakima.
Is this really what we're going to do on our girls' night out?
We should go to Club Crow. The bar and grill in Kashmir? Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Kashmir is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Kashmir, the coolest place in town.
At Doghouse Motorsports, we ride what we sell. There's a lot we could say about the CD Spark and the CD GTI, but ultimately, the ride says it all.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a good Tuesday evening. We've got a lot on the prep schedule for tonight. First of all, in soccer, it is the OMAC Pioneers on the road at Chelan to take on the Goats. Goats 1-2, OMAC 0-5-1 on the season. Meanwhile, in the Bees, Manson will be up at Liberty Bell. The Lions off to a good start at 4-1. Trojans still looking for their first win in 5 games so far. Meanwhile, the probably biggest tilt of the day will happen at Kashmir on the pitch as the Bulldogs, 4-1 on the season, take on the Cascade Kodiaks, still undefeated at 6-0. Also, Wenatchee home tonight in the Apple Bowl, taking on Moses Lake. Chiefs are 3-2 on the season, 2-1 in Big 9 play, while the Panthers are 3-0 in Big 9 action, 4-1 on the season. That kicks off at 7 o'clock. Meanwhile, across the river, we'll be live for Eastmont hosting Sunnyside as the Grizzlies come in at 0-4. Wildcats at 3-2 on the season. We'll have that live on the NCW Life channel tonight. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen with your play-by-play, all beginning shortly before 7 o'clock. On the volleyball floor tonight, it's Pateras on the road at Etihad. The Tigers perfect on the season, 5-0. Pateras no slouch at 3-1. Meanwhile, the Chelan Goats take their 4-1 record on the road to take on a very tough OMAC Pioneer squad tonight. They are 5-1 on the season. Meanwhile, something's got to give between the Manson Trojans and Waterville Mansfield Shockers. Both teams are 1-5 so far in volleyball play. Cascade, meanwhile, looks to extend its unbeaten string. They'll be in Kashmir tonight. Wenatchee's on the road at Moses Lake. The Chiefs are 2-2 overall, 2-1 in Big 9 play, while the Panthers are 4-2 on the season overall, 3-1 so far in the Big 9. Eastmont's also on the road tonight in volleyball. The Wildcats are in Sunnyside to take on the Grizzlies. That match will start at 7 o'clock. Slow pitch, Wenatchee at Moses Lake for a doubleheader in slow pitch softball. Yeah, they have actually added that this year to the Big 9 slate. Well, Pete Carroll met with the media Monday to address what he saw and his coaching staff saw in the films of Sunday's 33-27 loss to the Tennessee Titans. He began by pointing out the obvious. It was a tale of two halves.
Really good on defense in the first half and then struggled in the second half, and played very quietly on offense in the first half and then put up a bunch of numbers and points in the second half. So it was really two different halves entirely for us, and unfortunately we didn't have enough time to get back to get it done. And they did a good job. I really, they got to credit them. They made some really good plays, really big plays that made a difference in the game. They were really not familiar to us to see that happen, and so we got to give them credit.
Carroll did say they saw some positives in Sunday's game, starting with the offensive line.
I think the offensive line really showed us some stuff yesterday that we liked. We saw that we could protect. We saw that when we did run the football, we had some nice movement at the line of scrimmage, and so we're building. I think Odeabushi had something to do with that. I think he helped us yesterday, and it was a nice performance by him, and I think he complimented well for his first time out with us. So that was good. We're doing some really good things. When you keep playing football and don't turn the football over, we count on winning, and we're doing a really good job in that regard. And that's something it's not easy to do. It's not translating yet because we're not getting the ball on the other end of it. On the defensive side, it's really important to do. And so there's things for us to work out. I think we're going to get a lot better. I can feel our newness. I can feel the youth of our club, and that's why we're all encouraged that we can get better and do some really good things and get going. We need to get going.
Seahawks prepare to take on Indianapolis Sunday Night Football. Mitch Haniger belted 2 of Seattle's 4 home runs. Felix Hernandez still earned his final appearance of the season. Mariners beat Oakland 7-1. That's sports. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. It captured audiences from all around the nation. The 10-part documentary series, The Vietnam War by Ken Burns and Lynn Novick. The documentary is aired on PBS over the last week, diving into all dimensions of the war. Local veteran Gene Sherritt stopped by Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Coons to share his thoughts on the film.
I was part of Hill 875 in Vietnam with the 173rd Airborne, and I brought back a lot of memories, Dan, because it's been a long time since 1968 when I departed Vietnam. And so you tend over time to try to erase some of those memories, particularly the loss of friends who were your best friends, and suddenly within a moment they were gone, and you were putting them in a body bag on a helicopter never to see them again. And you knew they had dreams, you knew they had aspirations, you knew they had a future, and suddenly it was gone. And so you're zipping them up, you're putting them in a body bag. Those that are heavily wounded, they're out in the next helicopter. And so you wanted to erase some of that to move on with your life, and the film brought back a lot of that to memory for me. I get misty-eyed, to be honest with you, when I listen to the lieutenants and the sergeants and the others who talk about the courage and of the young men and women who served in Vietnam, and the fact that they really fought for flag and country and patriotism, that they believed that the cause was right, especially in the early days of the war, when I was there in 1967, 1968, and that these American soldiers were brave, they fought hard, they asked for very little, they had the least to gain, and many of them in terms of their service. And just last night, a gentleman was talking about how important these young men were to him, and how they moved forward and they never backtracked at all. And I was very emotional last night for me to see and hear that.
In light of recent national news involving the NFL, the national anthem, and President Trump, Sherritt said a compromise is in order.
I think there's ways to have compromise in this. I think, personally, I always stand for the national anthem. I think it's important. The flag represents, I think, a symbol of our country, so I'm a very patriotic person in that regard. I think if you want to kneel, kneel ahead of the anthem or kneel after the anthem. It accomplishes both things. You send the message that you're concerned about social injustice, but stand for the anthem or kneel after.
We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Lake Chelan mailboxes find solutions and the best price for all your shipping needs, including UPS, FedEx, and the U.S. Postal Service. We offer a variety of services including quality copies of all sizes, faxing, scanning, sending and receiving email, laminating, and notarizing. Enjoy browsing through our large selection of greeting cards. Lake Chelan Mailboxes supports our military, fire victims, and our community. Come see us at the Plaza in Lake Chelan.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's blueberry picking season and King 5 named us the second best destination restaurant in Washington State. So toss the family in the cruiser and get on out to Blueberry Hills for the best down-home scratch country cooking you've had in years. And don't forget our award-winning pies. We're fun, family-friendly, and a delicious destination year-round. We're open every day from 8 to 3, serving breakfast and lunch all day. So come on out to Blueberry Hills.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Welcome back, and now a recap of our top stories. The remnants of the Dalco fire were still smoldering this morning following last night's major fire at the packaging plant in Wenatchee. Multiple crews responded Monday night to the 2-alarm blaze that caused extensive damage to the structure and its contents.
So we were dispatched to a commercial fire on South Columbia Street at Dalco. About the time we were getting dispatched, a engine from Douglas County 2 was just clearing from another call on their side of the river, had noticed the smoke and also started responding. We arrived to a large fire burning in a storage yard here at Dalco that was basically comprised of palletized product, foam product that they manufacture here. We were able to start putting water on it within a few minutes. The sprinkler system on the exterior of the building on the south side of the fire helped prevent the fire from extending into that building. And we're basically able to just get the fire knocked down from the exterior. No exposure into any of the buildings, either on the south side or the north side. Investigators on the way. We have no idea yet as far as what could be a possible cause of it, but they'll be investigating at some point tonight.
The fire caused minor damage to the exterior of the warehouse after crews knocked the flames down within an hour of arrival. There were no injuries in the fire, and as of this report, the cause was not yet determined. A Mattawa man was killed last night in a 2-vehicle head-on accident near Desert Air. Washington State Patrol reports that a 1999 Toyota Camry driven by 31-year-old Miguel Maximino of Mattawa was northbound on State Route 243 around 9:30 Monday night, fleeing the scene of a separate hit-and-run incident when it crossed the center line and struck a 1997 International truck and trailer driven by 48-year-old Augustin Santana of Sunnyside head-on. The collision caused the Camry to roll and set the semi-truck on fire, which eventually fully engulfed the big rig. Maximino died in the crash. It's unknown at this time if drugs or alcohol were involved, and the accident is still under investigation. Well, it was a day to celebrate new jobs coming to Wenatchee at a special meeting of the Chelan County Port District today with the announcement of a new business expanding to the area. Mount Vernon-based Laus Truss is expanding its manufacturing facilities to Cashmere, where the company is buying a 4-acre parcel of land from the port-owned Cashmere mill site property. Company President John Laus says the plan to start construction as soon as the property sale closes.
We're initially looking at putting between 20 and 30 jobs in. We have a few people from the Burlington area that are looking to move over into Chelan County to help us sort of transition that culture of our company over and make that a smooth transition. We've been developing a truss market in Central Washington for a number of years, and it's getting to the point where we are just out of capacity and out of trucks and all that kind of stuff to service this area, and we want to be serving this area, so this gives us the opportunity to put a plant in and really plant ourselves firmly in the region.
And now your weather forecast for north central Washington, but before we get into those details, Let's take a look at this beautiful day that we all enjoyed around most of north central Washington today as we look down at the beautiful Columbia River and the foothills of the Cascades. We did see a few clouds out there, but for the most part, above normal temperatures today, sunny skies and light winds. And I'll tell you what, today through Friday afternoon, we will continue to see high pressure continue to build, and that will send our temperatures into the upper 70s to lower 80s under mostly sunny skies and light winds. The reason? Huge dome of high pressure, which you can see on our satellite loop. It's building in from the eastern Pacific. On Friday, things will begin to gradually change, though, as high clouds will be on the increase in the afternoon ahead of an approaching cold front that you can see just on the western edge of that ridge. There may be enough cloud cover to hinder warming in central Washington on Friday, and highs for places like here in Wenatchee, Omak, and Chelan. We have lowered them a couple of degrees into the mid-70s for Friday, but still an awfully nice rest of our work week ahead. By Saturday and the weekend, the most significant swath of rain will likely occur Saturday morning right along that cold front as it moves through the area. Here in Wenatchee, we'll see about a 30% chance of rain, and that will mostly be on and off on Saturday. Behind that front, Saturday afternoon promises to be cool, breezy, and showery. There may be fewer showers Sunday over central and few showers rather over central and eastern Washington as the cold front moves into Montana. But for the most part next week, we will continue to see a series of cold fronts move through, which will keep our weather unseasonably cool, a little bit wet and breezy at times. Here's a look at our forecast now. Tonight, a pretty mild one. We'll drop down to 54 degrees under mostly clear skies. Look at Wednesday and Thursday. 80 for Wednesday, Thursday. 82 degrees, and then the cool down begins, especially on Saturday. Our best shot for rain at 67, 66 for Sunday, and then more showers on Monday with a high by then right around 64 degrees. Our kicker video tonight comes to us from 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse, who gave a speech today on the floor of the U.S. House of Representatives in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month.
Rise today to recognize National Hispanic Heritage Month. Each year, Americans observe Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15 to October 15 to celebrate the contributions of Americans of Hispanic descent to our nation's diverse history and culture. Our Central Washington communities are blessed to include a growing number of Hispanic Americans, and I have witnessed firsthand the many ways Hispanic Americans strengthen our communities and our way of life. Hispanic Americans have greatly contributed to our country's history. These Americans have enhanced our economy through entrepreneurship, and many have served our nation honorably in the U.S. Armed Forces. America is truly the world's melting pot, where people of diverse backgrounds and cultures come together.
And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
I gotta tell you, I'm nervous. Selling your home, it's a big step.
Can we find the right buyer in this market?
Look at our website. When someone looks at your home, I can tell how ready they are to buy. See that number? The closer it is to 100, the closer they are to buying. So, I know who to zero in on.
So you have a secret weapon.
You mean we have a secret weapon?
I like that. Oh, what do you think of the wallpaper?
I love that touch.
Wenatchee Valley College is now offering 4-year degrees. The need for engineering technologists is rapidly growing, and the new Bachelor of Applied Science in Engineering Technology is designed to meet the needs of local employers. Students with an associate degree can complete the program in only 2 or 3 years. Don't wait! The program is accepting just 20 students for fall quarter. Apply now at wvc.edu/engineeringtech.
Electric in Wenatchee is your one-stop repair shop for all your auto, marine, small engine, or heavy-duty truck electric motor needs. Does your battery need to be replaced? Their technicians will have you up and running. The diagnostic team at Romaine Electric identifies and repairs all electrical issues from farm, truck, marine, industrial, diesel, ATV, and PWC. Romaine Electric in the Industrial Park off Ferry Street and Wenatchee Avenue. Stop by or give them a call today at 663-8150.